hundos in a knot. Press a button, let down the top. Boogers jumping out the watch. Dead time forever. I'm dead time forever. Blueface hundos in a knot. Press a button, let down the top.
The Be Elite Hoops documentary series. This one is titled The Last One Left, with my brother Travis Cohn, aka Trap, Young Delta, Flight School. And I think we had to do it here because this is just a sentimental place to both of us, with both of our parents born and raised right there in Sunset. You know, you get to a point in life where people forget your struggle or where you come from, and I feel like it was only right with Travis coming up on his 8th year of playing professional basketball. I felt like it was only right that we needed to document this and talk with him and have this discussion, have this conversation. So, you know, without further ado, I'd like to introduce everybody to Travis Cohn.
Well, Travis Cohn, born and raised Decatur, Alabama. My roots, clearly you guys can see from behind us, Sunset Park. Got schooled at Sturls Daycare, went to 6th Street Boys and Girls Club, so my upbringing is from here. My parents, my mom, 612 Sunset Drive, my pops, 632 Sunset Drive, so every facet of me originally comes from the hood, Sunset. Right
from the mud. And we, you know, y'all probably familiar. If you're from Decatur, or if you know about Decatur, then you have to be familiar with the Pines, and that's where we at right now doing this. This thing is still beautiful. The Pines still look real good. I think Joe Cohn came out and actually painted the court not too long ago.
Indeed.
And speaking about your upbringing, you know, I don't think a lot of people are familiar with you being a product of a single parent household.
My mom, man. Hats off to my mom, Linda Cohn, man. Really was Superman. I mean, Superwoman for me, and Superman, because I didn't have a father, so she played both sides of the field.
Yeah.
Taught me everything, right from wrong, instilled integrity in me, discipline, hard work. So I mean, everything that I am today is from what she instilled in me. And again, man, hats off to her. And without her, you know me. So I mean, honestly, man, the things that she's done for me, no gift that I could give her would ever repay her for the things that she's instilled in me.
Talk about his mom, Miss Lynn, so important, not to just Travis, but to a lot of people in the community, because she fed a lot of people. You know, a lot of people are aware of her cooking. That woman can throw down. You know, them greens and that hot water bread tastes like a feet. Tastes like a feet. She put her feet in it. You know, for real. Telling you something good right now. I ain't lying to you. That woman can cook, and hence her nickname, Cook. So she was very important, you know, to the streets, to the community. So did she put the basketball in your hand originally, or where did the passion for the game come from?
Originally, the passion for the game honestly came from my uncle, Jamore Thompson. He played at Austin High School. They call him House. All the OGs watching this, I'm sure y'all know who House is. You go to Austin, you should hear about him.
Is he on the wall?
Yeah, definitely on the wall. Definitely on the wall. I remember coming to the Kerry Matthews Center, not to play, just to watch him play with the older cats on the forbidden side. You know, that side when you first come in, it used to be forbidden. You had to be of a certain caliber to be able to step out there. So at the age of like 2 and 3, me running with him, I would just watch him and watch how he played, watch the impact that he had on the game. And it really just inspired me. It inspired me to pick up a ball myself and try to mimic the things that he was doing. Then I had other people around me as I was growing up, because like you said, before social media, this was our social media. We came outside to play. Nowadays you find kids, iPad, iPhone, and they head buried in it. Us, we was outside playing ball, riding bikes, playing football, just all the things that the kids steer clear from nowadays. We had that whole essence because we didn't have that social media outlet. So one of the last ones left. So
yeah, it's in last one left from that cloth, from that special cloth before like social media was big, before you could see. Now you can kind of work your way onto a basketball team, or you know, it's a little easier now because of all the resources. But you was the last one that came through that didn't have those resources, that didn't have that reach like these kids have today. You know, you had to get a lot of your training, or a lot of your transgressions and struggles came directly out the mud, you know. And then by you doing what you're doing and going places that you went, other people haven't went. You had to be a fast learner and kind of learn on the fly. Indeed. You don't have anybody to be like, well, I've been to Iceland, do this, do that, you know. So your first, I guess, recreational hoop, if I'm certain, I mean, tell me if I may be a little off, but I think it was 3rd Street Boys and Girls Club. I started
off over here at 6th Street Boys and Girls Club. Okay. I went there for maybe like a year or so, because like I said, I went to school, well,
what's your age at this time?
I had to be about 8. I would say 8 at 6th Street Boys and Girls Club. It was Mr. Southwood was there. He was the director at the time. So I was at 6th Street for maybe like a year, and then once we moved, because when I was born, we lived on 7th Avenue Northwest. Mm-hmm. So when I turned 5, we shifted and moved to the southwest side, 1211 Arbor Avenue. So with that comes me changing schools, changing my whole demographics to the places that I go to. So I went to 3rd Street under Rico Pickett. Yep. And I'm sure you guys have heard the name Rico Pickett, or even his son Rico Pickett. Definitely influential around the Decatur area, especially around the time when we were coming up. Yeah. His dad, Enrico, was definitely like a founding father with the basketball. He was early on a lot of things. He was pushing AAU back in the early 2000s, late 90s. He was pushing individual training. He was pushing bringing people from the outside in, working one-on-one with you. He was pushing trying to get to the league. A lot of people wasn't really trying to get to the league from this area. Yeah, you got some guys that were good, but they wasn't really in pursuit of professional basketball. So Big Rico was a staple in our community for really pushing the game of basketball to new heights. I give him that. Easy. So you're doing your thing at 3rd Street, playing recreational, and then you make your way to Brookhaven, right, from middle school. Brookhaven. I remember 6th grade. We had this is like when Rec League, I guess, first got off the ground. Yeah, Rec League, had all the local gyms, Carrie Matthews, Aquadome, Fort Decatur, TCO. Yep. So once I got my foot in that, and I kind of figured out that I wanted to do this thing for real. And I used to hate the way that they did the Rec Leagues here. Like, if you guys are watching this, don't ever make why would you give everybody a certificate, everybody a first place ribbon? Why would you, if this guy is one of the best players on his rec league team and all the kids are the same age, why did he have to sit out 2 quarters just because he's scoring a lot? Like, that really hurts kids, you know, that knocks a lot of confidence. Yeah. Definitely cripbles the game. I used to hate that they did that here, because I don't know a lot of other places that did that. You know, you can go anywhere else other than Decatur. I mean, if you can go, even in Huntsville. But for me, when I got to middle school at Brookhaven, like I said, I figured out that this is what I really wanted to do. So I tried to put my everything into it. So when I got on the 7th grade team, that's when I really, I guess you could say, came out on the scene as a legit hooper. Right. Skinny kid, long head, nasty crossover. That was me at the time. And back then, this was way before like guards of my caliber could dunk. So this is when we was smacking the backboard, and smacking the backboard was considered like dunking. So right around that time, I think I just got to be free as far as like the things that I could do on the court, and it helped me learn right and wrong on the court, because I mean, you learn through your mistakes. So who was coaching? Coach Hewitt? No. Nah, I had Coach Lindsay. He actually was he was a science teacher at the time. Coach Lindsay. He was coaching, and then my 8th grade year, we had this guy named Coach Tilley. He came in for like a year. Coach Tilley. Yeah, came in for like a year. 7th grade. I went to the rival school. I went to Oak Park.
You know, we had Coach Mose, we had the legend of him. You know, everybody know him. I'm not saying that everybody don't know the names that he just named.
Right.
But everybody know Coach Mose.
Definitely
everybody
a staple in the
Coach
city.
Mose.
I know that name, and I never even met him.
Yeah, but continue. So 8th grade, you had Coach Tilley. Oh, to go back, in middle school. Now, I don't know all the middle school, what would be the right word? The middle school legend or memorabilia or whatever you want to name it. But there was 2 people that I remember dunking when they were in the middle school. One was Courtney Bowden. He dunked the basketball when he was like 12. 2 was my brother Billy Allen. He dunked in the 7th grade. I don't remember nobody else dunking. If I had to guess, I would probably say Okechi probably dunked.
Maybe so.
Because he was also freakish athletic like
sure.
that. Maybe Brendan McCaskey. Maybe.
Vertical.
Yeah, possibly.
Easy.
Possibly. Yeah, I just had to shout out some of the other guys, you know. So, okay, 8th grade, you're transitioning into 9th grade. Now, when you transition into 9th grade, it's a little different now because guys are leaving 8th grade and they are already thinking about varsity.
Right.
And you got some guys in the 8th grade that are playing varsity. So when you transition to the 9th grade, what high school did you go to and where was your skill? What type of skill level did you have, realistically?
9th grade, Austin Black Bears. Shout out those Black Bears, man. My ninth grade year, realistically, again, skinny kid, quick, nasty crossover, couldn't really shoot, wasn't really defensive savvy, but the game offensively, I'm not gonna say it was easy, but it was easier for me to do some things than other kids could do at the same time around that age. So definitely young.
Right. And that was the year that I actually transferred into Austin.
Right.
You used to play with us a lot, which I know, looking back on it, helped out your game because you was in the gym with us a lot.
Yeah,
at that
sure.
We had like Tyler
Holloway,
Coco,
yep,
Dante
Lauren
Watson, Cal. I forget your last name, but my guy Clemens, I think.
Yeah, I remember Cal.
He was from Kentucky. BBN, go Wildcats. Still gonna rep that. Y'all know that. But so 9th grade, you're playing freshman ball.
Yep, freshman ball.
Were you disappointed? Did you think you should have been playing varsity?
Honestly, no, I didn't. Because I won't sit up here and lie and say, yeah, when I got the 9th grade, I should have been on varsity, yada yada yada. Nah, that really wasn't it. I knew I was gonna make the 9th grade team for a fact. I didn't exactly know where my game was as far as you placing it, but I knew for a fact I could play. So varsity really wasn't even on my compass at the time. We had players like Jay Sears. I know all the
Jay Sears. He got moved up as a freshman. He was tough.
Yeah, he came alive around middle school. Yeah, definitely was a staple in the city. So shout out Jay Sears.
Jay Sears, his brothers Lil Rick.
Yeah, them Sears, man.
Sears, Dietrich.
That clan right there, man. They hell, for lack of a better term. They're hell.
Yeah, especially when they all were actively pursuing.
For sure.
Yeah, they were tough.
Shout out Dietrich Mostella. That's he's also would be considered a Sears. That's their brother playing at Jacksonville State this year. So shout out to him. Good luck this season.
Hopefully we can get him on the get him in one of the documentaries.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. Because I think the city need to know a little bit more about him as well.
Right.
He has a similar. Y'all have similar style games as far as y'all are what people would consider combo guards. Both can handle the ball.
Sure.
Both can shoot very well, and y'all both are flyers. Well, used to be flyers. He don't really be dunking anymore. Y'all have to in the comment section asking why he ain't dunking no more. He might dunk on somebody every now and then, but he ain't even trying to dunk no more. But that's neither here nor there.
Don't entertain that, man. If you know me, you know me. If you know, you know. But yeah, around that time, like I said, we had players like Jay Sears, and Jay Sears, he was one of the guys that actually went from 9th grade basketball to varsity. Yeah. I remember one game, I think we might have played Sparkman or somebody. He had like 39. I'll never forget, he had 39 points, and then the next game, Coach Allen, another staple in the city, at Austin High, moved him up to varsity. Yeah. So he was playing varsity in the 9th grade, mind you. We only 14, 15 years old at the time.
And
so we
were loaded. I was
loaded.
on the varsity that year. We were loaded that year.
Again, you, Tyler Holloway,
Tay Orr, which he was one of the special. He was special coming from was it Brookhaven?
Indeed, the Wildcats.
So when we speak about Brookhaven,
yeah, those Wildcats. Shout out Brookhaven because we produce a lot of phenoms. Everybody that came through the city knows about Brookhaven.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Austin prepares you back then. I would say 2000 from the late 90s to 2007 when he finished out. Austin was prepping you differently than Decatur High. Decatur High has their own way. Not saying it is right, not saying it is wrong, but it's more of a traditional way. Austin was more progressive in trying to do things a little outside the box, and it started working latter in, I guess, in their legacy with like a couple years ago when they made it all the way to the finals.
Yep.
You know, bringing guys in like Asa, you know, he's a running back for Auburn, but just when I saw them do that, that let me know that they were seeing the bigger picture.
Right.
You know, because even though he's not a basketball player, you got him on the team because it's about the swagger, and that's something that Travis, you know, has that a lot of people don't have. It's the swagger, you know, which takes him. So okay, let's go back. Y'all remember me from the first time with Rico. I kind of jump around a little bit from time to time, but we go back to senior year. Y'all made
junior year. Junior and senior year.
Okay. So y'all went to Wallace State. No, y'all went to Birmingham one of those years, right?
State. We went state both years.
Oh, they went to state both years.
Both years and lost to Jeff Davis both years. Shout out Courtney Forson. Shout out
Courtney Forson, a complete beast still.
Shout out Varez Ward. That team at Jeff Davis really was different. I mean, you play in Decatur, you beat teams like if we beat Decatur, we make it to Wallace, we may play someone like Homewood and make it to Birmingham.
Right.
Once you get to Birmingham and you're playing teams like Jeff Davis, the caliber like almost instantly goes up like 2 notches.
And a big reason that because of being battle tested.
Right.
Y'all probably had one of the weakest, this is no disrespect. The teams coming out of our area up until lately have such a weak schedule. You know, we're not doing any tournaments that's, you know, in Vegas or in Atlanta or even Nashville. You know, we're doing a lot of stuff around here. And if you're not playing AAU back then, who's going to see you? Who's going to see you?
We only had team camp, and team camp was at Birmingham Southern.
No disrespect. And we didn't have people like Jared. Now, we need to kind of put this in there. I meant to put this in here last time we did this. Now, when Jared come into the picture, Be Elite Hoops, that's a platform. So now guys are getting looks. Now we need to be very clear about some things. Not saying that guys wouldn't be going to college or doing whatever, but when this man got behind the camera and started putting people on his platform, on his page, make sure you subscribe to Be Elite Hoops, YouTube, all social media platforms.
Sure.
That right there, if let's say Travis had Be Elite Hoops back when he was in the 12th grade, you're looking at a totally different person, because now instead of just Decatur knowing that Travis can jump from the free throw line, the world knows he can jump from the free throw line.
Right.
See what I mean? So, you know, always respect when people put you on their platform and you end up going to new heights. Never forget, you know, the ones that help you get to where you know that you're at now. Mm-hmm. So what type of scholarships, and you actually snuck in some AAU play.
Yeah, for sure.
He played some real good AAU. Actually, tell him about that.
Again, shout out Rico Pickett. He actually threw me a lob and got me into a workout at I'll never forget my first time at Madison Academy for the Southeast Elite, tryout for the Southeast Elite.
Madison Academy, I think that's what big Josh Langford.
Exactly.
So just to plug that in.
Went there. I never forget we did some drill where you attack the cone, cross over, and then attack the paint, like to the basket. And this is right around the time where I first figured out I had legs, or wings for that matter.
Pause.
Pause. So I hit the cone, crossover dribble. I took one dribble, and without even thinking, I jumped up in the air and inverted 360. So
AKA that Vince Sanity.
Yeah, that Vince Carter. Shout out PC. That's my guy. As soon as I did that, man, one of the coaches came up to me. He's like, where you go to school at? It's like, I go to school at Austin. He's like, you know anybody around here? I was like, yeah, Rico Pickett, yada, yada, yada. So when I said that name, it was like a light went off in his head. He's like, oh, okay, so you must be from Decatur, yada, yada, yada. Cool.
This was a Reebok team, right?
Yeah, Reebok,
okay.
Reebok. So got on the team. Wasn't really getting to play as much as I thought I should have played, but looking back at it, I played enough. Because we had some heavy hitters at the time.
Who all y'all had?
Me, Rico Pickett, who do we have? Barres Ward, Courtney Forson, Cordell Pope. We had another shooter, I can't think his name, Tyler something. Tyler, I'm sorry, if you seeing this, man, I forget your last name, but shout out, he stays in Nashville.
And mind
Sniper.
you, these AAU teams around this time, from probably about 2000 to maybe 2008, the Huntsville AAU circuit is really slept on what they was doing the late 90s all the way up until now, realistically.
Right.
Like that Huntsville AAU circuit has been real, but like I spoke on, you didn't have guys like Jared to kind of put it out there back then.
Right.
Now you see it, so you get it, but back then it was real. It was real.
Back then, word of mouth, for lack of a better term, was going to different gyms in the local area hooping. And whoever saw you, whoever they saw after seeing you, they would spread the word. So our upbringing was in high school going to the Optimist.
Another spot in Huntsville.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Extremely competitive.
And that's some extremely competitive gameplay.
Now, transitioning from high school to college is where something special happens. This is where the magic occurs. Now, all of a sudden, Travis says, "Okay, I'm going to Jacksonville, right? Duval County, in Florida.
Duval to Bangham.
You know, beaches, nice weather. You know, the ladies, if that's what you're into. I'm a married man, but hey, let's put it out there. That's the summer that Travis started going to the Carrie Matthews, playing pickup with some of the OGs or some of the older guys, some of the guys that
the local heavy hitters.
And that summer, you know, where, you know, I want to highlight, you know, Travis going in the gym with G Readers.
Shout out G.
They were both approaching their freshman year, and me being the big homie, I was like, you know what, these guys, they already good, because they've played AAU ball. Like he just said, he was playing at the Optimist. He was playing all over the city, all over the northeastern region for the most part. But I was like, you know, you got to get battle tested, and the perfect place to get battle tested was at that time was Decatur, Alabama, in the Carrie Matthews Center. You know, went in there all summer, man, worked on his game, started working on his body. Next thing you know, he's in Jacksonville.
Here we go! Yeah! A 360 slam for Travis Cohn! Well, that'll get the crowd back into it. 13 for Travis. We lead by 15 with 2:31.
Tell us how that transition went from you being in little old Decatur, Alabama, where the only swimming pool we have at the time would be, I guess, the Port Mellon Wave pool.
Yep.
You know, no beach, no real entertainment outside of us going to like maybe a local club. Or the entertainment for us was playing NBA 2K.
Yep.
2K7, 2K8, hooping. That was our entertainment. So now you're leaving little Decatur and going to Jacksonville. Wow.
Man, that right there, I think that helped me become a man, to be honest. I went there and saw a different facet of the game that I had never been introduced to, and it was hard work. You know, we come from Decatur, Alabama. A lot of people around here are just naturally gifted with certain skills. Either you can jump real high, you can shoot real good, and it's just natural. It's not something that you go to the gym and work on.
Facts.
So I go to Duval, Jacksonville University under Cliff Warren. I get there and I run into this little short cat, and I'm not thinking too much about it. I'm from Decatur, Alabama. We got big egos. We think, oh, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I get to Jacksonville. I ran into this short guy, maybe like 5'9", 5'10", by the name of Ben Smith.
A complete dog.
Man, a dog on both ends of the court. And honestly, man, between him and another close friend of mine and brother, Aaron Spider Hardy, shout out to these two guys.
Shout out Aaron, shout out Ben.
They really, really showed me that I wasn't as good as I thought I was, and that the hard work would have to be put in for me to, I guess, get that outlet, get that look.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to Jacksonville. I'm thinking my freshman year, I'm gonna get to play 15, 20 minutes a game, being naive about the situation. So I get there, first day of practice. Oh, you talking about dog tired within the first 30 minutes. Mind you, in college, okay, backtrack. You go back to Austin, we only had practice maybe an hour and a half. And 75–80% of that is just playing pickup ball with a couple drills.
Yeah.
You go to Jacksonville University, practice is 2 hours and 30 minutes. And it's actually 2 hours and 30 minutes of complete drills.
On top of class.
On top of class.
On top of tutors. On top of
study hall.
All of that, yeah. All of
waking up in the morning at 5 o'clock to go run miles. Like, these are things that I never heard of coming out of Decatur. I mean,
right.
And this is no disrespect to none of the high schools around that time, no disrespect to Austin, no disrespect to Decatur High, but the training just wasn't there. We weren't waking up to go run miles in the morning and then coming back after class to lift weights, and then after lifting weights, going to the gym for practice.
Right. Because I remember around that time, because I had tried to break some stuff that I had picked up in Kentucky, just saying, hey, start drinking protein shakes, maybe don't play, maybe just run today. And a
Never
lot
heard
of
of that.
Your friends, they was like, what? Like, nah, we just hoop every day. And not understanding, like, the body, the wear and tear you put on your body when you just hoop every day and you don't actually prepare your body.
Man.
Stretching, water, eating the right,
all of that is vital.
All that stuff. So I know you felt it. I know you probably even considered quitting.
For sure, I considered quitting and also transferring. I never forget, I wanted to transfer after my freshman year. Ben Smith, Aaron Hardy, I know y'all can attest to this because they was with me during this whole time. I wasn't getting my way, and I think that's one of the things that Decatur, Alabama has a bad habit of breeding.
Man,
like
facts.
The people here, and myself included. This is not to single out anybody.
Yeah. I'm raising my hand as well.
We feel like we're entitled to so much just because we can do it. Just because we're gifted in some facet of the game, we feel like, hey, I don't have to work hard. I should be giving
what
this
it is
or giving
too?
that.
Another thing that it is that we get here that a lot of other people don't get. In our community tends to, our community tends to kind of gas us up and hype us up before we actually, before we present the results. Like, you already going to Jacksonville thinking you should be starting, and you haven't did any work.
I haven't did anything.
But yeah, I agree with that. Where we come from has this way, in a weird way, of giving you this illogical
sense of entitlement.
Yeah, and it's not even rational.
So I go to JU, I'm thinking my freshman year, like, just because I'm one of the highest jumpers on the team at the time, mind you. So I'm thinking my ego is just up, like, man, I dunk on all these people. And I'm thinking that just because I can dunk, that means I'm good enough to go out here and spar with these people who've already been in this system for, at the time, maybe a year or two. So for me, it really was an eye-opener. I had to get everything I've earned to this day out of the mud, literally.
Yeah.
And it started from ground zero at Jacksonville University. At the time, I wasn't really the biggest fan of my coach, Cliff Warren. I think he knows that. We've had discussions and conversations about that post graduation. But I think that guy, I thank him for everything that he instilled in me, because he showed me that I'm not entitled. Like, I deserve everything that I put in the game. So if I don't put anything into the game, I'm not gonna get anything. Nobody's gonna give you anything. So for me, that was one of the things that I really had to learn, like waking up every day just to go to the gym and shoot. Like I told you, I really couldn't shoot coming through high school and middle school. I was streaky. You get hot, you might hit 2 or 3 in a row and then go cold.
Right.
I got to JU, I got introduced to a gun, no pun intended, a shooting gun. So when I got introduced to that, I would literally be in the gym because the coach would make us go to the gym and shoot on the gun. That was a part of, like, practice. So once I got a rhythm and understood, like, okay, if I can get the ball and shoot it the same exact way every time, I got a high chance of making this shot every time if I get a good look at it. So my freshman year really was just figuring out how to play defense, figuring out how to shoot, figuring out X's and O's. Because like I said, coming from Decatur, we didn't know any of this. You could just play. Some people can just play the game. At the time, I was one of the people that could just play the game, but I didn't understand angles. I didn't understand
because
numbers.
You played a lot of pickup.
Exactly.
Coming from this area,
Nothing
we
structured.
just play pickup a lot. So that can kind of flaw your game.
For sure.
Because you don't really have a full understanding of how to play maybe under the whistle, how to read picks, how to understand your body, mechanics, all those things. Like, because, let's say, when you got there the first time and Ben was on you and you didn't understand your body, he probably could get up under you and cause you to travel.
Or turn the ball over.
You used to play
I was
pickup.
so turnover prone in my freshman year.
Yeah.
Sheesh. So yeah, just figuring out the things that I really could do and figuring out the things that I lacked in so I could work on them more. I think when I got to Duval, that really like changed my mindset about basketball, because up until then, I mean, we got people like, my inspirations growing up was Michael Jordan, Vince Carter, T-Mac, people like those that you only see offensively from their highlights. You really only see them offensively. You don't think about the work that they put in on defense.
Right.
And for me, when I went to Jacksonville, defense was like a foreign language. I never heard of it. Like, we come from Decatur, Alabama. You can attest. Like, people just didn't play defense at the time. It was, all right, you get by me, you get by me. I'm gonna just leak out and try to get a fast break so I can show
defense.
people. Right.
Man,
Exactly.
That's still a lost art. That's still a lost art.
It is. Learning about defense, learning about, man, I didn't know how vital communicating on the court was. I never knew until I got to Jacksonville.
Yeah. Which I can't believe you didn't pick up any of that with Coach Allen, because he did a little bit of that when I was there. I was only there for 1 year though.
See, Coach Allen wasn't really my coach though, because like I said, my freshman year I didn't play varsity, so I was under Coach Miles, Jake Miles. I had him up until the 11th grade. I didn't make varsity until the 11th grade.
Wow.
So 9th grade.
And for you kids out there, listen, he didn't make varsity until the 11th grade. He's
literally
playing professional. He's about to go to France, but that's on in the day.
But yeah, I was under Jake Miles. So 9th, 10th grade it was him, and then 11th grade Coach Allen had left. He left Austin, and it was Coach Garth that was my coach as the head coach. So I had Coach Garth 11th and my senior year.
Gotcha.
And some kind of way, like you said, the tutelage that you get at Austin is so much different. I learned a brief bit of discipline. Like, we had discipline. We may not have had like the best offensive package or the most talented players,
right?
But from a discipline standpoint, we were there. We were locked in. It was a different culture there at the time.
Yeah.
So I think
I agree.
That right there really opened my eyes to a lot, because like I said, at that age, you're a teenager, you think you know everything. Can't tell me anything, or at least that's what I thought, because I could dunk at the time.
That's what all the teenagers think.
So as soon as I could dunk, I was like, oh yeah, I don't need to learn anymore. Lo and behold, it's a whole new side of basketball waiting for me to just explore, and figure out.
And so with, like, a lot of people don't even realize either, like, like your circle of hoop, from myself that went to Kentucky and Middle Tennessee State,
right,
to G that went to South Alabama, and sitting there, he ended up in Venezuela.
Yes, sir.
Then your boy Spider.
Yep.
I'm not familiar with where he went.
He played at Huffman.
Huffman, okay.
And he played in Germany.
Overseas. And then Ben, he got records.
He Dublin High School state championship. Played in Finland, England, Iceland, France. Forgive me if I'm forgetting all of them, Ben. You got a lot of them. I'm still chasing you, so.
So the point of that for you young hoopers, surround yourself with other people that's doing what you want to do, or that's doing something that you want to attain. Make sure that your circle, like, listen to his circle, it's all guys that play high-level college basketball overseas. So whenever he has a question or whenever he's feeling down or feeling up, he got balance. He don't just have friends that doesn't contribute to his career, his well-being. So that's just something for you young hoopers, you young ball players. That's a little nugget. You know, be familiar with your circle. You know, so you're graduating, which is that's success right
milestone.
there. This man then graduated high school, single parent, then graduated college, single parent. You know, getting it out the mud, taking the road less traveled. So fresh out of Jacksonville, what do you do?
Fresh out of Jacksonville, I never forget, I graduated April 30th, 2011. You know, it was a crazy storm back here in Decatur. I think the power might have been out for like a week.
Oh, I remember that storm. Yeah.
The day
Maybe
I got
10
back,
days.
yeah, the day I
got
got back,
for 2 weeks straight.
I remember it was curfews and everything set out.
Which was crazy because what we gonna do? What was we supposed to do?
I have no idea, man. I don't know.
So you gonna tell me I gotta be at my house at 8 o'clock? All right, okay. You know what? Never mind. All right, go ahead.
So the day I leave the next day, May 1st. I get back home May 1st. This is the day that the power and everything's coming back on. So I didn't see the chaos that was going on a day prior to me getting back home. So I'm home from May until October. I had a workout at
Now, at this time when he's home, he's working out.
Yeah,
he's hitting the gym.
I'm in the
he's
gym
running.
because I'm coming fresh from that JU work ethic. Like all I know is go to the gym, get shots up. If I don't go hoop or play pickup, at least I'm gonna do is get on the gun, go get some shots up. So around this time, the months in between, I'm just at home training, playing pickup, trying to work on myself, work on my body, this and that. And I get a workout. I get a workout in Springfield, Massachusetts, for the D League team. At this time, you had to pay
the G League.
G League, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm an OG now, so it was D League back then.
He didn't got old.
At this time, you had to pay, I think, maybe like $150 for the workout, and at the time, I didn't have it. I'm fresh out of college. I didn't have it.
And that's why the NCAA need to pay players. This man done did 4 years at your university and come home broke. Come on,
lack of a better term, right?
That's not right.
Y'all definitely can do better.
That's not right. He wasn't supposed to come home with nothing. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the topic at hand.
So I get to the workout. Mind you, it's me and maybe 30 other players trying out for this team. And
not to cut him off, the D League was tough to get into around this time too. It was tough.
Man.
It was tough. Because I went to a tournament and played against some guys, and I didn't get the call back. so the D League was tough. The D League was tough, and I thought I did my thing, but I guess I did. But continue.
So I get there. It's me, 30 other people trying out for the team. Mind you, this is me first learning about politics and things of that nature. So the team had already had 5 people that they already knew for a fact was going to be on the roster. So, and mind you, 5 of those people, 3 of them were already guards. Mind you, I'm 6'1", 6'2", somewhere in there, a buck 60, maybe. Trying out, and I guess the work that I put in at JU, it kind of like it transitioned to this D League workout. So I'm first day doing my thing. I'm playing decent. I didn't think I really did a good job per se. I got a couple breaks.
What position were you playing?
I was actually playing the 2 guard.
2 guard.
I was an undersized 2 guard.
Okay.
At this time, I didn't know anything about point guard. I went to Jacksonville to play point guard, but I really developed as a 2 guard.
Gotcha.
So go there. Day 1 really didn't go how I thought it would, but again, coming from Decatur, if you get a dunk, that's like having 30. So I got a couple breaks. I had a couple dunks. I thought I did my thing. Day 2 come around, first cut. I think they cut like 10 people. Now it's only 20 people left. I'm still in the running. Pick up, drills, 16s for you young boys. Know about the 16 suicides. We had to do all of that at the end of the practice. So day 2 went by. Again, I didn't really think that I did what I should have done or was capable of doing, but I got another break, dunked it. Couldn't tell me anything. So day 3 come around, I think they cut like 7 more people. So this last cut, it was for sure gonna be like 2 other people. So it's me, and I think maybe like 3 other people. Some of the heavy hitters on the team at the time was L.D. Williams, who's still hooping.
What's up? What's up?
Jerry Smith, Lance Hurdle, James on. Man, heavy hitters at the time. So me going up against these guys, I'm thinking like, man, these guys, all right, they're only playing because they're here before me, not because they're better than me. I'm not even looking at the game from a basketball standpoint. I'm looking at it from an ego standpoint.
Right, which we tend to do.
We do that often. Yeah. So get there day 3, at the end of the workout, it kind of brought me back to Decatur, because if you're from Decatur and you play pickup, you know back around this time, at the end of the pickup, if you can jump, it's like it's a show. It's time for the show. So at the end of this workout at the D-League, it was like, all right, I think somebody just ran up and maybe dunked it crazy. And I'm thinking the whole time like, man, he got up high, but I feel like I can do something too. So they threw me the ball, and I'm nervous. I'm knowing I'm gonna dunk, but I'm still nervous. It's just I don't know these people. I'm in an unfamiliar territory. So I throw the ball up, get up under it, stretch out, flush it through, and the crowd and the coaches go crazy. As soon as they went crazy, I was like, all right, I might have a chance. I got him. I might have a chance. So a couple days go by. They never told me that I was cut. So I'm walking on eggshells, because at any moment they don't really tell you an hour when they're gonna cut you. They just call you into the office like, hey, you didn't make it, yada yada yada. It's a business thing, X, Y, Z, and then you go about your business. So I made the team, and I never forget. I called my man G. I told him, I was like, yeah, we gotta. He's like, how did you do in the workout? I was like, I guess I did all right. He was like, well, what you mean? I was like, we play next week. He was like, nah, you lying. I was like, yeah, we play next week. So I made the team.
And this was the field team for the Boston Celtics?
Who was our no, New Jersey Nets.
New Jersey Nets, okay.
Yeah, New Jersey Nets. So we got to play. I was there for like 3 months. At the first beginning, of course, my playing time was limited. Politics played against me. They didn't know me, come from a mid-major school, so really had to earn your keep. So at this
it's
time,
not like you had anybody before you to kind of coach you into how to act.
I had
that's a
none of
part
this.
of the game that we also forget. You got to know how to act.
For sure. So get there, whatever. And like I said, I'm nervous. First couple of games, I'm not really playing much, but I'm at least getting in the game. So when I'm getting in the game, immediately I notice how the pace is different. Like you play high school ball, you watch them, they walk the ball up the court, you run the offense, they play stall ball.
Right.
You go to college, you got a little shot clock now. But when you go to the D-League is like right there to the NBA, so it's like almost the same rules. And it's one rule in particular that caught me off guard was they call it 2-9. It's 2-9 rule. It's really 3 in the key. But you only got 2.9 seconds to be in the key before the ref blows the whistle and says, you know what I'm saying, defensive 3 seconds.
Right.
So when I found out about that 2-9 rule, if you're in help side defense, you literally only have time to like help.
Could you keep 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or both feet had to be out?
Both feet had to be out. You could be 1 foot in, and then right when it gets to that 2-9 mark, you gotta reset yourself and reestablish. So with that, I saw a window. So I was like, all right, cool. They can't stay in the paint that long.
Exactly.
I can get by my defenders at least. So if I get by my defenders, I'm gonna get to the paint.
Yeah.
Figured out how to get to the cup and just not even get to the cup and score, but get to the paint and just draw the defenders to me and kick it out.
Right.
This is me learning how to be a true
guard.
And
I think the G League, I think it's catered to one-on-one play.
It is.
Because of that rule.
Run and gun.
You know. Yeah.
For the most part, it's just run and gun. So at the time, I think it was maybe like two or three games into the season, and Jerry Smith, L.D. Williams, and James John, I think his last name Curry. My fault if I forget your last name, fam. It's all love. These 3 guys got called up to go to the Nets training camp. So when they go up, of course that leaves the room open for the guys like me to come get more playing time.
Yeah.
So I go from averaging like 3 points a game to averaging 13 over the course of like a month and a half.
One step away from that league floor.
And that's all, at the time, that's what I was thinking, like, all right, I need a 30-point game, and I'm good money. At least they'll know who I am. So unfortunately, those 3 guys I just named, they didn't make the cut. They got to play, but they didn't make the final cut. So they came back to the D-League team. So with that being said, politics played in, and I went back to my ground zero role.
Yeah.
So shortly thereafter, I got released. At this time, this is like my first, I guess, run in with failure. And
I wouldn't even really consider it failure, because it was success that you even made it that far.
Failure from a standpoint based off my ego, based off coming from where we come from, Decatur, thinking like, I'm supposed to have this, or I'm supposed to get this.
And not understanding the politics of the game and the business of it. You know, you don't get every deal. You're not gonna win every deal.
Right.
You know, you're gonna lose some deals.
So come back home, kind of like woe is me, a little bit down on myself, and I run into Elite Hoops, Jared Jones. Shout out Jared, my guy. I run into him one day, and I think we met up at like Dublin or something like that in the Madison area for a workout. And like you said earlier, he had a camera, and with that camera was a different platform. I'm still the same.
He already had his page going too.
Exactly. So I'm still the same player, same skinny guy, same guy that's jumping out the gym at the time. So with his camera, that put me on a different platform. So I'm working out with him at least 2-3 times a week, every day. He putting up film. It's getting shared by so many people. And me, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm like, it's just some highlights for everybody to see. I'm not even looking at it from a business standpoint.
Right.
So around that time, I actually had to get a job because NCAA didn't take care of me.
Yeah.
No shade, but I didn't have anything coming out of Jacksonville. So
had to do something. Got to put.
I actually had to
what's
go
a man
get a job.
supposed to do? Man got to put some food on the table. Man got to do something.
Got to eat.
Got to eat.
So at this time, I went and got a job at Lowe's, man. Lowe's
were
on.
you bagging? Were you
No. I was actually working in the
back house.
No, in the lumber yard.
Lumber yard. Doing what?
Like you come in and help people find certain garden tools and things like that if they need them. I wasn't doing any manual labor, none of that.
Okay.
So I was working at Lowe's for about 3 months, man, and out of nowhere, got a call from a coach in Iceland.
He seen your highlight.
He saw my highlight, thanks to Jared.
What did I say when we first started this?
Thanks to Jared. He saw my highlight. He's like, I heard a lot about you. You played at Jacksonville, this and that. And mind you, Ben Smith, who is a year before me, was already in Iceland. So now the politics playing in my favor.
I was just about to say that just a year ago the politics wasn't in your favor, but now this year they're in your favor. That's the universe. That's God. That's how God works.
Man.
Continue.
So heard about Ben Smith. He saw him playing, and he heard about me. He was like, I want to give you a chance to come out and play for us. Mind you, it's January at this time, so it's already more than halfway through the season. It's coming up on playoff time.
Cold. What? I know it was cold over there.
Indeed, every day for 3 months, man. Boots. I didn't wear.
Was it always dark too?
When I first got there, sunlight was only 3 hours. We only had 3 hours of sunlight in a 24-hour span. So when I got there, I landed at 10:30 a.m. I never forget. But it looked like it was midnight when I got there, and the sun only came up for like 2 hours and went right back down. So at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it looks like it's midnight.
Right.
So this right now is a culture shock for me. This is beyond just playing basketball. This is just being in an unfamiliar territory, trying to figure out what's what, and the language barrier. That's some of the biggest, man. That's the biggest eye-opener.
And not to even go into, because he's played in so many different places. This story could go on for another day or two. You know, talk about that, the language barrier. Talk about being overseas across who knows how many thousand miles you are away, and then just your day-to-day grind to just hoop. Let's not even talk about hoop, because a lot of people just say, "Oh, I'm going overseas."
Right.
You ask a kid now, "What you doing? What you gonna do when you graduate?" Going overseas. You know, but they don't understand the grind. So break that down for the youth, for the youngins. Somebody that's about 18, 19 years old that's maybe college didn't work out for him, and he just saying, "You know what? I'm going overseas."
Going overseas, you definitely got to be prepared mentally, because it's gonna be a lot of like downtime. When I say downtime, I mean like time to yourself, where you don't have to be anywhere, you don't have to do anything, you just sit in a room. So when I first got there, the language barrier was crazy, because the language doesn't really, and this is no disrespect to anybody in Iceland, I got people out there that I consider family. but the language doesn't sound like anything that I'm familiar to. It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't
What
sound
is
like
it
anything.
called?
It's Icelandic.
Oh, okay, okay.
So get there. You got to deal with the language barrier. The electronics is so much different. You know, here.
So you that Xbox and all of that Wi-Fi.
You need adapters. You need converters, or because we think like, I'm just gonna go there and plug it in the wall and that's it. The first time I got there, I plugged my Xbox into the wall and it blew up.
Right, totally different electrical grid.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, just something as small as washing clothes goes to the next level, because here in the States we have washers and dryers.
Yeah.
In Iceland, you only have a washer.
So you got an air dryer.
Mind you, it's like 10 degrees outside. So you gotta improvise to get your clothes dry. Like hanging them up on the walls, hanging them up like from the ceiling.
I'm sure a lot of appropriate. I felt like we had to come here just because of your upbringing, the tutelage, the pedigree, all those big fancy words. But let's talk about why this place is important to you.
For me, man, this symbolizes everything that the kids don't get nowadays. We had organized games. I mean, at the time it was pretty much like a daycare.
My grandmother was working at MSG. So they're cooking them hot dogs in that microwave. You know you're supposed to be boiling them hot dogs, Grandma.
So there's a place where you just learn you learn different facets. Like it's not just one thing that you're good at. You got ping pong, pool, foosball.
And the pool was kind of what was it called?
I forget what it's called. I know what you're talking about.
It's not your typical pool tape.
It's a different type of pool game.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. But
I remember turkey was slapping Stanley Highland turkey.
I forget the name of that game, but you hit it off the side and you gotta go. Yeah.
Bumper pool.
Bumper pool. That's what it is. Yeah. So we did that. We had days where we would go to the skating rink, all night skate,
AKA the bean, the ring.
All that.
Yeah.
6 to 6. We'll do that. We'll go to different boys and girls clubs throughout the local city and play like dodgeball or
Did
basketball.
they ever take you to like a place called Moundsville? It was a place that was just full of it was some
Yeah.
so
We
country.
did go to Moundsville.
Just a bunch of mounds
out in the country. I do remember that.
I feel like it was like near Priceville or
I can't
Somerville.
It's out in the bonus. In the bonus.
Boonies, for sure.
But yeah, this symbolizes everything that a kid likes to do at the age of anywhere from 8 to about 13.
Right, and I bet this kept you from being at home playing video games. And this was also a safe haven.
Yeah, kept me out the streets too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is Decatur. It's poverty stricken, and this is right in the northwest side. So yeah, it definitely kept me out the streets, kept me focused. And then I got to meet different people that like to do the same things that I like to do. So I had different friends.
Yeah.
You come here,
Did you learn how to play Uno here?
For sure.
Yeah.
Learn how to do a lot here, man. Again, big shout out to Big Rico, man. Like the kids that are around the age of me and Eric definitely came up under his wing. He had everything to do with giving back to the community, and it's definitely been paid off. So I'm definitely gonna pay that forward when I get to a platform where I can do that. So for sure, big ups to Big Rico.
Yeah. So let's kind of jump back into your professional career. Just briefly touching on different places. I know we already spoke on Iceland. So briefly tell us about the other places that you went to and how did it go? Did you like it? Did you not like it? How was the weather?
After Iceland, I went to Slovenia. Slovenia was different.
Where is Slovenia for the ones that may not know? Because it's a lot of, you got to think, it's a lot of young kids on his channel because he got thousands of subscribers.
Slovenia is in the old Yugoslavian territory.
What is that near?
Honestly, man, I couldn't tell. Oh, it's near Croatia. Croatia. So if you know where Croatia is,
is
it's
that
pretty
near
close
Russia?
To that. Nah, okay. I don't think it's that close.
Every time I hear Croatia, I think Russia.
So went to Slovenia for 3 months. It was okay. But I liked it because I got a chance to play freely.
Okay.
Like with mistakes included.
Were you playing 1, 2?
1. Mainly 1. I was playing the 2 also.
So this your first year playing the 1 then, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Playing the 1. a little bit of the two. Like I said, I got to be a little bit more free, learning some different facets of my game, because I still consider myself a student of the game, so my game is, I feel like it's still growing. It may not grow much now, but it's still growing.
Always learning for the youngsters out there. This man is, what, 29 years old, still looking at himself as a student.
For sure. Went there, played, what I get? I made all defensive team that year. I went back the following year, back to Slovenia to a different team. Didn't really pan out how I thought it should. Got released and went right from there. I went to Hungary.
Now, for the viewers that may not know, where is that located on the map?
Backtrack. My first stint in Slovenia, when I left there, I went to Cyprus. And when I was in Cyprus, I played with I don't know if you watched NBA Dunk Kings. They used to come on during the playoffs or finals time.
Yeah.
Kwame Alexander.
Yeah. Kwame,
he's my teammate.
Seen him on,
shout out Kwame, man. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Shout out Kwame.
Got
to play with him.
When he say Cyprus, he's not talking about like Cypress Hill, like a legendary rapper.
Nah. This is
OGs on the page too.
It's an isolated island, man, where part of the country is Cypriot and then the other part of it is Turkish. So you gotta have plans to go onto the other side.
Can you speak some of the language?
Not at all. In Cyprus they speak Greek. I guess they're familiar with Greek. That's like a sister country or something like that.
Okay.
But left there. My second stint in Slovenia, left there and went to Hungary. Hungary, I got to play with guys like Sherman. He's got a big guy from Michigan State. Sherman. Who else? Mike Caffey. Shout out Mike Caffey, my guy on the West Coast. Got to play there and just really just figure out how to play a role, because we come from Decatur, we want all to shine, we want to do this, we want to be that guy. Yeah. So here I had to learn how to play a role, which wasn't too hard for me, because that was my whole upbringing at JU. So went there, season was mediocre. The following season after that, I ended up going to Italy.
Italy. We all know Italy. We all know where Italy is.
Yeah,
pizza, lasagna, spaghetti.
That's the country that looks like a boot on the map. It looks like a stiletto boot.
I just think about just pizza, spaghetti, pasta, pastini.
That pizza, pasta, man, it's different because it's really authentic. It's real natural.
My son, he has an Italian name. I think Francisco's an Italian. Francisco. Yeah, that's an Italian name
for sure. Got to go there, played, did my thing, had some highlights. If you guys follow me social media or you follow Elite Hoops, I just recently posted something, so most of that is from my stint in Italy. So I really enjoyed Italy.
You played fantastic there.
I really enjoyed Italy, man. I got a chance to just learn through my mistakes and learn through the tutelage of the coach, because the coach really wasn't giving me the keys to the team, but he gave me enough leeway to where I could make a name for myself.
Right. He still had you on a leash, but it was a longer leash.
Exactly. Gotcha. So made the most of that. I think that season went fairly good. We didn't make the playoffs or anything, but we managed to stay in the league, so I saved him from dropping down.
And when you say dropping down, what does that mean?
Dropping down, that's
what is
like
dropping down or going up? Like,
if you don't win a certain amount of games and you're at the bottom in the rankings, your team drops down to the division that's under the division that you're currently playing in. So that would be Italy.
Are these international rules, or what is this?
This Eurobasket? Yeah, it's Eurobasket.
Okay.
So I was in Italy A2. This isn't A1. A2, this is the second division league. So had we not won enough games, we would have dropped down to A3, which really wouldn't even be worth going overseas to go play, because it's not really notable like that. So yeah, that, like I said, I got to save them. I got a chance to save them from dropping down. So that was really good for my conscience. It let me know that if I don't give up and the team don't give up, then we got a chance to at least be decent. And that's what you want. You want to be decent and you want to learn. My ultimate goal is to just learn from everything I do. Like I said, I'm a student of the game. After Italy, went to Israel for maybe a month and a half.
Israel, that's the Middle East, right?
Middle East, that really didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. That probably was like my worst, I would say my worst experience overseas.
Was it the team? Was it the general manager? Well, we don't want to say anything.
I don't want to say anything there, because that's neither here nor there.
Right. It was just not a good fit.
Yeah, it wasn't a good fit. It didn't pan out. I ended up coming back home for a month and got a call to go to Greece to play. I had went to Greece before, but only for like a few weeks. So when I got this chance to go back, I went to Corybos. Got to play with guys like Marcus Posley, Shaquille Hahn, shout out Chicago, Jaheed Carson, West Coast, shout out Arizona. Who else we had on the team? Kevin Langford, man, the list goes on and on. But those just a few guys that I can think of off the top of the head. Got to play with those guys and really learn. I got a chance to learn from some guys that were younger than me. And sometimes I think we get caught up thinking that you can only learn from somebody that's older than you.
Yeah.
And these guys were maybe like 2-3 years younger than me. So it's like I got to see their upbringing and how they maneuvered during the game, and I got a chance to apply some of those same attributes to my game now. So that was a pretty good run in for me. Again, that season wasn't really the best. We ended up dropping down. I wasn't really playing as much as I thought I should have been playing, but it comes with the game. I mean, you're not gonna get what you want every time.
Right. So what do you recommend for? There may be a young adult, a young man that has a fiance or has a girlfriend or has a wife, and he's wanting to go play ball overseas, or maybe he has a whole family. Like, because I know you got some experience with your wife with you. How does that work? You might see us like waving. We in the deck, so we over here by the Boys Girls Club. People see us, you know how the deck is. Y'all know what it is.
So with that, if you got like a significant other with the team, if they know that they want to get the information from that other individual, so they can apply for a visa, so they can come over there. You know, you get a tourist card where you can stay. Tourist card is where you can stay in the country for at least 90 days without any form of paperwork per se.
And when you say apply for a visa, he's not talking about a debit card or a credit card.
No, this is like a rites of passage to be in the country past 90 days. So you apply for that, and they'll get you guys squared away, and then they'll put you in maybe like an apartment or a house depending on the team. And then from there, they'll give you a car, standard car, nothing out of the ordinary. And then they'll give you directions to stores, the gym, so you at least know how to get to the essential places that you need to sustain life. So, other than that, really just dealing with the language barrier for real. The language, because I mean, people act the same way as they act in different countries. It's just if there's a language barrier, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. So
how does the language barrier work year in, year out when you're on the court? Because you're in a different country every year.
For me, I pride myself on having like a short-term memory. My long-term is not really the best, but short-term, when I get to a country, the first thing I try to do is learn hi, bye, thank you, please, sorry, and then the numbers 1 through 10. If I can learn those things right there on the court, I won't have a problem playing, because basketball is one language.
Yeah.
Just communicating with others, that's where it gets deep.
Yeah, basketball is a universal language. I agree. I definitely agree with that. So as we conclude this, this has been very in-depth, very informative, to say the least. What are your final thoughts on the future, as far as the next person that may be coming from a single parent household from Decatur, that may have an ego issue, that may not know how to play defense yet, that's looking to one day, do what Travis did? Because his kids right now, if you ask them what they want to do, they'll say like, yeah, I want to do what Travis is doing.
Right.
So what do you tell that kid that's out there?
My thing is, the thing that I would tell you most is to respect the people that are providing for you the most. Like, respect those people, because those people are going to be key and vital pieces to your livelihood, past high school, past college, right into adulthood. And never feel like you're too good to learn. Coming from Decatur, I think that's one thing we get lost in a lot. We get to a certain plateau and we feel like we can't. I don't need to learn that anymore. I'm already this good. I'm already that. Never feel like you're too old or too good or too knowledgeable about a certain subject to learn, because learning makes the world go round. Yeah. To this day, like I just said previously, I'm a student of the game. I'll be a student of the game until I die. Because if I'm not learning, then what am I playing the game for?
Right.
I'm not doing it for the flashy lights. I'm not doing it to be known or have a statue put in the city or something crazy like that. I'm doing it to actually learn so I can give it back to the youth that's up under me. That's when I play basketball, it's about learning and giving back to the youth. And if I can give back to the youth, just this documentary, just talking to the kids, giving them a little insight on the things that I've done over my career, maybe can help 1, 2, 3, maybe even 5 kids go further than where I'm going. Yep. So never be afraid to get better, and never think you're too good to learn. Wise words from Travis.
And final thoughts, final words. When you hear Travis Cohn, the last one left, what does that mean?
For me, last of a dying breed. Honestly, I mean, we got some guys that play ball or that are starting to transition into playing professional ball. But for me, I think I'm definitely a pioneer. I think I'm probably like the first person from around this way to play in the D-League, first person to sustain a consistent career. So when you say the last one left, we're really speaking on consistency, really. Just learning, being consistent, year in, year out. You know Travis is playing ball somewhere, or Travis is teaching the game or giving back to the youth in some facet in relevance to basketball. So the last one left, Decktown, I'm here. I'm always gonna be here.
Be sure to subscribe to Be Elite Hoops Daily. Make sure you follow them on all the social medias. Shoot your social media.
On IG, you can find me at Trap603. Facebook, Travis Cohn III. My government, keep that quiet. But you can find me there. Yeah, you'll see me on Eurobasket pretty soon. I'm headed to France tomorrow, so we'll be back. Stay tuned for more.
Decktown, Be Elite Hoops.
Yeah, we don't do no fugazi. Decktown on the lab, one left. Feeling like Boone Killer Joe Cotton. Balenciaga mix it with the red bottoms.